Breaking news from the medical world. Senior women are gaining weight faster than any generation before them, and it has nothing to do with willpower. Doctors call it metabolic drift. Sounds complicated, but here's the simple truth. Your body slowly changes gears as you age. Hormones shift, muscles shrink, digestion slows down. Doctors now warn that six silent, everyday mistakes are secretly switching off fat burning, slowing metabolism, and forcing women past 60 to store fat even while eating healthy. The scary part? Most of these mistakes are disguised as good habits. The kind of things you've been told for decades are safe. Think about this. Research from Tufts University shows that women over 60 burn 400 fewer calories per day than they did in their 30s, even with the same activity. 400 calories is the difference between staying lean and slowly adding a pound every 9 days. In this video, we'll reveal all 6 mistakes ranked from number 6 down to the number 1 hidden danger that doctors say is the most destructive of them all. And number 3 is so common, it might be happening in your home tonight. And just so you know, every single study and reference is linked down in the description. Because when it comes to your health, you deserve facts, not fads. Quick question before we dive in, where are you watching from? And what's been the hardest part of controlling your weight after 60? Drop it below. I'll be reading and replying because your story might help another woman fight back against these traps. Now, without any further ado, let's start with mistake number 6, ignoring protein at breakfast and why it quietly makes women over 60 gain weight. Number 6, ignoring protein at breakfast. One of the most common mistakes senior women make is starting the day with almost no protein. Breakfast is often toast, cereal, or maybe coffee with a muffin. It feels light. It feels safe, but it quietly savages your metabolism. Here's why. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's the single most important nutrient for keeping your muscles alive after 60. And your muscles are the engines that burn calories. Lose muscle and your body burns fewer calories, which means fat builds up faster. A 2015 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that women over 60 who ate at least 25 grams of protein at breakfast had significantly more lean muscle mass than those who didn't, and they burned an extra 100 calories per day. That may not sound like much, but over a year, that's more than 10 pounds of fat gone without changing anything else. Here's a real-world picture. Diane, 67, thought she was being healthy with her light breakfast of coffee and toast, but she was always tired by mid-morning and couldn't figure out why her belly fat kept growing. The day she switched to Greek yogurt with berries and a boiled egg, everything changed. Within a few weeks, she had more energy, and over months, her waistline began to shrink. The science is simple. When you skip protein at breakfast, your body turns to breaking down muscle tissue for fuel. The less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism. It's like taking the spark plugs out of an engine. It just sputters. Protein also reduces hunger hormones, so women who skip it tend to overeat later in the day without realizing it. This mistake often goes unnoticed because women think they're saving calories at breakfast. But the truth is, skipping protein in the morning sets you up for more fat gain and less energy all day long. And this is only the beginning because mistake number 5 is even sneakier. Something most senior women do every single night without thinking, and it slows their metabolism while they sleep. Number 5, relying on low-fat packaged foods. For decades, women were told that fat was the enemy. Labels screamed low fat and fat free as if those words were synonymous with health. But here's the shocking truth. Most low fat packaged foods are traps that make senior women gain more weight, not less. Why? Because when food manufacturers strip out the fat, they replace it with something else to make it palatable, usually refined carbs, sugars, and chemical additives. A Harvard School of Public Health study revealed that people who regularly ate low-fat snacks and processed foods actually consumed 30% more sugar daily than those who didn't. And that sugar doesn't just disappear. In senior women, it's stored right around the belly, hips, and thighs, accelerating dangerous visceral fat accumulation. This isn't only about numbers on the scale, it's about hormones. After 60, estrogen levels plummet, which means your body already has a harder time managing blood sugar and burning fat efficiently. Add in the constant sugar spikes from low-fat yogurt cups, granola bars, or salad dressings, and you're essentially feeding insulin resistance. That means more fat storage, slower metabolism, and a roller coaster of cravings that feels impossible to get off. It's not your fault. It's the way these foods are designed. Take Helen, 68, from Ohio. For years, she believed she was making the smart choice by eating fat-free strawberry yogurt every morning, proudly avoiding what she thought was the villain, fat. But despite daily walks, her belly fat crept up, her energy tanked, and her doctor warned her that her blood sugar levels were climbing toward prediabetes. When she finally swapped her fat-free yogurt for plain Greek yogurt with real healthy fats, not only did her cravings calm down, but within 3 months, she lost 12 pounds without changing anything else in her diet. So the next time you're tempted by a box labeled low fat, remember the missing fat has been replaced with something far more dangerous. And for senior women, that silent mistake can mean the difference between a strong, lean body or a slow, frustrating climb in weight that no amount of dieting seems to fix. Now, let's move to mistake number 4, which is a daily habit many women overlook, yet quietly programs the body to gain weight even when calories aren't excessive. Number 4, not getting enough protein after 60. If there's one silent mistake that creeps up on women over 60, it's the lack of protein in the daily diet. For decades, the diet industry trained senior women to fear calories, cut portions, and swap meals for light snacks. But here's the harsh truth. Protein is not the enemy. In fact, without enough of it, your body burns away muscle tissue instead of fat. That means your metabolism slows to a crawl, your bones lose strength, and your belly fat keeps expanding no matter how little you eat. Let's make it real. Meet Joyce, 67. For years, she ate the classic senior woman's diet: toast and jam for breakfast, a small salad for lunch, and maybe some crackers in the afternoon. By evening, she felt exhausted, achy, and discouraged by her growing waistline. Her doctor pointed out she was only getting around 40 grams of protein per day, less than half of what her body needed. When Joyce shifted to having eggs with spinach in the morning, chicken or lentils at lunch, and fish or cottage cheese at dinner, her energy shot up. Within 6 months, she lost belly fat, regained strength in her legs, and said she finally felt like her body was working with her, not against her. And it's not just about weight. Protein also fuels the production of hormones like glucagon and growth factors that regulate fat metabolism. Without enough, insulin levels swing out of control, leading to more fat storage around the abdomen. Seniors often mistake the fatigue, brain fog, and muscle weakness from protein deficiency as just aging. But in reality, it's malnutrition, disguised in plain sight. The fix is surprisingly simple. Prioritize protein at every meal. Instead of plain cereal, add Greek yogurt. Instead of buttered toast, choose eggs. Instead of just soup for dinner, add lean meat, legumes, or tofu. Every bite of protein is like an investment into your metabolism, your bones, and your independence. So, when doctors warn senior women about weight gain after 60, this is one of the first mistakes they highlight. Cutting back on protein when your body actually needs more than ever before. And that brings us straight to mistake number 3, a hidden nighttime habit that silently adds weight even while you sleep. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 3, overeating healthy snacks like nuts. For decades, nuts have been marketed as one of the healthiest snacks you can eat, packed with protein, fiber, and heart-boosting fats. And it's true, in small amounts, they're fantastic. But here's the hidden trap. Even the healthiest nuts are still among the most calorie-dense foods on the planet. Just one handful of almonds, about 23 nuts, contains 160 calories. That may not sound like much, but most people don't stop at a handful. Seniors who graze on nuts while watching TV or keep a jar on the counter can easily eat 3, 4, or even 5 handfuls without realizing it. That's 600 to 800 extra calories in a single sitting, the equivalent of an entire fast food meal, but disguised as a healthy snack. This becomes especially dangerous for women over 60. At this age, metabolism naturally slows, and hormone changes after menopause make fat storage, particularly around the belly and hips, much more aggressive. What once felt like a harmless snack becomes a silent driver of weight gain. A 2019 Harvard study found that adults who regularly ate nuts but didn't adjust portion sizes gained an average of 2 extra pounds per year simply because of the surplus calories. Over 5 years, that's an additional 10 pounds, often in the very areas women are most desperate to slim down. The truth is, nuts should be treated like medicine. The right dose heals, the wrong dose harms. The key is mindful portion control. For senior women, that means sticking to a small handful, about 1 ounce or enough to fit in the palm of your hand, not a never-ending stream. Pairing nuts with high-water foods like apples or cucumbers can also help reduce calorie overload while still getting the benefits of healthy fats, protein, and fiber. So, the next time you reach for healthy snacks, remember too much of a good thing can quietly become the very mistake keeping you from losing weight. And speaking of nighttime habits, our next mistake is one that happens in the dark. When willpower is low, and it's one of the most overlooked drivers of fat gain in senior women. Number 2, drinking fruit juices instead of water. One of the silent but devastating mistakes many senior women make every single day is swapping out plain water for fruit juices. The labels shout 100% natural, no added sugar, and packed with vitamins. But here's the hidden truth. Drinking fruit juice is often no better than drinking soda when it comes to your waistline and your long-term health. Why? Because juice removes the very thing that makes fruit safe for your metabolism, the fiber. Fiber slows down sugar absorption, keeping blood glucose stable and preventing insulin spikes. Without it, that glass of orange juice you thought was protecting your heart is actually flooding your bloodstream with a sugar surge. For women over 60, this is particularly dangerous. Aging bodies process glucose less efficiently, muscle tissue is reduced, and insulin sensitivity naturally declines. The result, fat storage, especially around the belly, increases rapidly. Studies have shown that a single 8-ounce serving of apple juice contains 24 grams of sugar, the equivalent of 6 teaspoons, and offers almost zero satiety. You'll still be hungry, but your blood sugar and insulin levels will already be soaring. Take Margaret, a 65-year-old retiree from Florida. She proudly told her doctor she avoided soda and drank orange juice with breakfast every day. But despite walking 3 times a week and watching her meals, she kept gaining weight. Her fasting blood sugar crept into the pre-diabetic range, and she couldn't understand why. When she finally cut out juice and switched to water and whole fruit, the changes were dramatic. Within 6 months, she lost 12 pounds. Her belly fat shrank and her energy levels improved. Her story is not unique. Thousands of women over 60 fall into this exact same trap daily. The solution is simple but powerful. Swap juice for water and whole fruits. A fresh orange has fiber, fewer calories, and leaves you feeling full. A glass of water hydrates your cells, supports muscle metabolism, and protects your kidneys. And the best part, this small swap alone can save a senior woman over 25,000 calories a year, the equivalent of nearly 8 pounds of fat. And if this surprised you, wait until you hear the number one silent mistake, the one nearly every senior woman makes at night, often without realizing it, and it can double your fat storage while you sleep. Number 1, stanky for long hours. This is the silent trap almost every senior woman falls into, sitting for hours at a time. Maybe it's watching TV in the evening, reading a book, or even scrolling on a tablet. It feels harmless, even restful. But medically, sitting still for long stretches is one of the most powerful triggers of weight gain and fat storage in women over 60. Why? Because the body is designed to move when you sit for more than 2 hours. At a time, muscle activity in your legs drops dramatically. This lowers your calorie burn by up to 30% and shuts down enzymes that normally help process fat and sugar in your blood. The result is simple but dangerous. Sugar spikes higher, fat stores faster, and circulation slows down, making it easier for fat to accumulate around the belly. Think about Linda, 70, who retired and started spending her afternoons watching TV for 4 or 5 hours straight. She ate the same, sometimes even less than when she was younger, but her belly fat kept growing. Her doctor explained it wasn't just diet, it was her sedentary hours. Once Linda began setting a timer to stand up and walk around every 30 minutes, her waistline slowly shrank and she felt more energy without changing her meals. The physiology explains it clearly. When muscles go still for too long, insulin sensitivity plummets, meaning your body can't handle blood sugar efficiently. Excess sugar gets shuttled straight into fat cells, especially around the abdomen. At the same time, blood flow slows, so fatty acids build up in bloodstream, raising cholesterol and increasing fat storage signals. This is why women over 60 who sit too much often notice both belly fat and rising cholesterol together. It's not a coincidence, it's cause and effect. The good news, the solution is surprisingly simple. Research shows that just standing and walking for 2 minutes every half hour can reverse most of the damage. It reactivates the enzymes that clear fat from your blood, wakes up your muscles, and stabilizes blood sugar. For senior women, this isn't about hitting the gym for hours. It's about breaking up the sitting time. Walk to the kitchen, stretch your arms, do a lap around the room. Small movements are enough to keep metabolism active and fat storage at bay. So, he wants to stop the silent weight gain after 60. Pay attention to your sitting hours. Exercise matters, yes, but even more important is what you do the other 23 hours of the day. Staying sedentary for long hours is the #1 mistake that fuels fat gain in senior women. But it's also the easiest to fix if you choose to move a little more often. So now you know the 6 silent mistakes that creep up on women after 60. Skipping protein at breakfast, falling for low-fat traps, under-eating protein the rest of the day, overeating healthy snacks, sipping juices instead of water, and sitting still for hours. Each of them may feel small, but together they explain why so many senior women suddenly gain weight even when they think they're doing everything right. These aren't just cosmetic issues. They fuel sarcopenia, diabetes, heart disease, and loss of independence. But here's the good news. Every mistake has a fix. Choosing whole proteins, embracing healthy fats, portioning snacks, hydrating with water, and moving. Every half hour can literally reset your metabolism. These changes don't just shrink your waistline, they protect your heart, your brain, and your freedom to live on your own terms. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes do you struggle with the most? And which one are you going to fix first starting today? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be in there reading and replying because your story might help another woman fight back against hidden weight gain. If this video opened your eyes, don't let it stop here. Hit the like button so YouTube shows it to more women over 60. Share it with your friends or family because you never know who's battling these silent mistakes right now. And most importantly, subscribe so you don't miss the next doctor-backed warning we uncover. Your body is not betraying you. It's responding to choices. Fix the mistakes and you'll take back control no matter your age. If you've experienced this yourself or have tips to add, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.